cycle of abuse is disorienting for the victim, shifting between periods of intense psychological or emotional abuse and periods of peace or relief, or at least the absence of abuse, which is experienced as relief to the victim. The victim may be bombarded by hours and sometimes days of verbal or emotional abuse, or at least as long as it takes for the victim to lose composure and respond emotionally. Trust me when I say that anyone would respond emotionally after hours or days of gaslighting, emotional blackmail, verbal abuse, etc. These periods or cycles create a temporary instability in the victim naturally. And unfortunately, the victim doesn't have time to recover between cycles of abuse. The relief period isn't large enough or long enough for them to completely regain the balance necessary to make such large decisions as leaving home or ending a relationship. If you found the layout of that video to be somewhat intolerable, good. It's intended to be a visual representation of the cycle of chaos and crisis experienced by the victim within an abusive situation, specifically psychological or emotional abuse in this video. The victim's instability only increases as the cycle spins. Each time for the victim, it becomes more difficult for them to reorient themselves or regain balance. The earlier the victim recognizes the cycle and takes steps to exit the cycle, the better. The longer we remain in that cycle, the more difficult it is to release ourselves from the cycle, and the longer the healing period will be. If you are experiencing psychological or narcissistic abuse, there are lots of qualified professionals out there who can help guide and lead you through the process of releasing yourself and taking the steps that you need to heal and regain that relationship with self. If you have a loved one who is in an abusive situation right now, know that all we can do is be available to support them. We can't make them get out of the relationship. All we can do is make sure that our loved one knows that we are available to help them when they're ready.